Most of us, if asked what is the central principle of the Torah, the essence of the Torah, we would give the answer of Rabbi Akiva, who said that the klal gadol of the Torah is v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, loving the other as yourself. However, when I studied at Yeshivat HaRav Amital would often give a different answer to this question. He would give the answer of Rav Shimon ben Pazi, that the klal gadol of the Torah is et keves echad taseh b'boker v'et keves hasheni taseh ben harbayim. Bring a lamb as an offering in the Beit HaMikdash in the morning. Bring a lamb as an offering in the Beit HaMikdash towards dusk. This is the great principle of the Torah. Now, this might seem quite puzzling. We could all understand why loving others would be a central principle of the Torah. But bringing a daily offering to the temple, this would seem to quite surprising. But the way certainly Rav Amital understood this dictum was that it wasn't about the temple and it wasn't about offerings. It's about a basic teaching in life, which is really the foundation of everything. In the Beit HaMikdash, every day, day in, day out, there would always be consistent and would be persistent in every day bringing that korban. And in life, to have that consistency, to be able to persevere, this allows us to achieve that which we should be striving for. If we go back to Rabbi Akiva, we know that to really achieve avat, to love another as yourself, this is not easy. This requires work. It requires consistency and to persevere. We live in a generation that so many people are looking for something beyond, to add meaning and spirituality to their lives. They're reading endless amount of self-help manuals. They're going to weekend seminars. But so often they feel that they haven't achieved what they're looking for. People will say, I tried everything, but couldn't find it. A friend of mine once said, it's not even though they tried everything, they didn't get anywhere. It's because they tried everything. To get to the water, you have to dig deep. If you dig many shallow holes, you're never going to get there. So first of all, to achieve, you must persevere, day in, day out. Another point that we could learn from the korban tamid, the daily korban, is how important when there's something constant, part of your daily schedule. We know this relating to daf yomi. The success of daf yomi is we don't wake up and decide, what am I going to study today? But there's a clearly defined daf. We commit ourselves to it day in, day out, and through this, a little bit every day, we ultimately finish the entire Talmud. I had a friend who used to run 10 kilometers every Friday, but in the summer it got very hot, so he couldn't run. And he said afterwards it was really hard to come back because he knew there was an option. When you feel it's not an option, I've decided every day I'm running, then you'll have a power and you'll succeed. If it's maybe yes, maybe not, if it's not part of your schedule, you're not going to get there. If we would ask people to find 24 hours for a spiritual retreat, which is very intensive, of what you could do and what you can't do, most people at the best would find something once or twice a year. However, we know that every week, every Jew keeps Shabbat. It's because Shabbat is part of our routine. It's something we don't think about, yes or no, to feel it. That's why we succeed. Some may ask, so where is our renewal if we're doing the same thing all the time? But we know, as the Greek saying, you can't twice immerse yourself in the same river, because the river is always changing and you're always changing. We could do things different, the same thing every day, but this will awaken us and change us in different ways. And finally, one power of what being persistent and constant, doing the same thing day in, day out, when it's easy and when it's hard, this allows us to show our loyalty and our love. I have a student that once in the army, he told me how difficult it was to daven Ma'ariv because he's so exhausted at the end of the day, and he barely is able to concentrate on what he's saying. But I told him that his decision, that no matter how tired it is, to continue his tefillah, expresses his love and loyalty to Kadosh Baruch Hu more than any particular content. So let us be constant and persistent in, day out, be doing the things that we know to truly be important, and through that to grow. Shabbat Shalom.